Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is on the British Georgian Horse-Head Style Saber. It is a saber with a horse head on the pommel. Very cool blade shape, very back swept. Looks like a Persian Shamshir or even a Talwar. Really cool blade. We'll do some up close looks in the scabbard, out of the scabbard, and also some cut testing. Let's get to it. Looking at 33 1/4 inches overall length of this back swept saber, this horse head saber. We're also looking at 28 1/2 inches for the blade length itself. There's no back edge on this one. It has a decently thick tang, not overly built, not like a kukri, like the Afghanistan kukri that we just did in the previous video. So if you haven't checked that one out, that's a really cool kukri set. Edge has been sharpened, so this is a USS British Georgian Style Horse-Head Saber. Very cool blade. The back swept blade is actually one of my favorite parts about it. I wasn't sure how I was going to like this one, but for it being from a saber perspective and the point of balance on this one, it actually is, it's really cool, and it cut very well. Weight on this one is 2 pounds, 7.3 ounces, so easy to move around with one hand, which it's intended to be. It's clearly primarily a slashing tool. You're going to have a super powerful initiation with that much of a back swept blade. That is when the blade is balanced properly. You also have a really good point of balance and grip length for little punch cuts, and even if you're extending this out as well, feels really good in the hand. The upward slashing, which is primarily actually all I did for it on the cutting, also really good. I really like the delivery on the backhand upward cuts for this blade. This is a nut construction pommel, and then obviously it says it in the name. This is a horse head on the pommel. We have a cross guard. I know I'm holding it upside down. You've got the knuckle lining here to protect the hand. We've also have the opposite side with a notch to also protect the thumb line as well, depending on how you're going to be holding this. Nut construction pommel on this one. The grip is 3.5 inches long. That's what I'm talking about. To get your hand in here, it's fine. I don't dislike it. However, you'll see that it doesn't come out at all from this side of my hand, or this would be a better angle. So if you don't really go into a whole lot of wrist cuts, it's actually not too bad. I think what kind of counterbalances it, and this is just from my experience personally, it's not theory. Personally, I like that the knuckle lining, the handguard here is encapsulated and there's no openings on this at all. Because if you do deliver a wrist cut with it, it is easy to get back, but you do feel, and I see why they have the horsehair on the heel of the hand, so that way you're not getting a whole lot of friction and things like that when you start to bring this thing back around. I see this thing personally being more of a powerful slasher with larger cuts, but also getting into punch cuts as well. It does actually manipulate really well, but just keep in mind that the handle is a little bit shorter on this one. Matching the handle and the handguard as well on this horsehead saber, we have a brass scabbard with 2 fixed hanging rings. So see, these do not move at all, so they can still be worn, but they do stay in place. The draw is smooth. Most of the USS swords that I've worked with have a smooth draw. It locks into place nicely. We'll see on the crossguard as well, on the handguard, that these 2 pieces, they slide very smooth. I'm not getting any on this one, at least. I'm getting a little bit of scratches on it from the side of the scabbard here. Not really that big of a deal personally, especially this being a pretty decent price for it as well. But a good looking saber. Let's do some up close looks of this one inside and out of the scabbard. Let's get to it. All right, up close looks of this awesome horse-headed saber. This is also brass as well on the handle. It's cord wrapped. It's very thin cord wrap. Good grip. Didn't have any problems with it. I know I didn't mention that on the overview, but probably because I didn't have any problems with it, I didn't need to mention it. Good tip on it. If you see any of that, this right here on these brown spots, that's because I just did the cutting with it and then I put it back in the scabbard, so I'm gonna have to clean that. Alright, so looking at this one in the scabbard, so we'll see again, there's the horse head. Then we look down the brass, all the way down in the scabbard. There are the 2 fittings. These again do not move, but you can still run cord through them to carry this if that's something you wanted to do. Try to keep as many fingerprints off it as possible, but if you get metal glow and one of the sword maintenance kits on our website at cultofathena.com, you can definitely keep this nice and shiny, even if you're hanging it or if you are wearing it. Back swept blade. Let's take a look at the cut testing and see how this saber performed. Thanks for joining me for the British Georgian Style Horse-Head Saber. This thing cut very well. I really like how exaggerated the back swept blade is. It actually does also remind me of a Polish saber. It being in the saber family, of course, it's going to have similar characteristics. If you like blades like this, let us know. This is a blade from USS, from Universal Swords. Let us know in the comments below what you want to see. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.